Hello. You probably couldn't hear me because I was on mute. Hello, everyone. Hi, Candy.
Hey V, look, I'm trying not to say too much, y'all. I'm sick, so my voice is real bad. But hey, everybody,
Hi, Gold Digger.
how has the day been?
The day has been good. I've actually been moving back into my room, which is, as we know, is I call it the penthouse because it's all the way at the top.
Oh no.
And it's actually like it's so much better because now I'm actually getting my privacy back because down on the first floor you don't have privacy. Although I do lose the bathroom, but that's still my bathroom all the way downstairs. So imagine that, right?
Oh my goodness, yes, up and down.
Hmm.
You gonna get some PT, some physical therapy you didn't know you was getting. But hey,
Yeah, that's why I kind of because I was like, okay, I can do it, and it'll help my knee get back into the rotation of like the steps and stuff. So it's been good, but I just when it's time to go to the bathroom, it's kind of like what, you can't wait to the last minute. I gotta keep telling myself that. But I'm glad you're still able to make it even with you not feeling so well. I'm
thank
sorry
you.
about that.
Yes, it'll be all right. So tell us what's on the agenda today with our ongoing series.
So on the agenda today, I want to because like people really don't know my husband on here like through me, but it will be people who actually probably be like, oh wait, I've been to his shows before and stuff like that because he's been on so many different platforms. So people who done been on multiple platforms, they would recognize who he is. And so I'm kind of want to get him to people who don't know him to kind of see that he's the person that they got him pegged to be, or however, that's not who he is. This is just an unfortunate situation. And sometimes, and when I had to put myself in other people's shoes too, and like feel like, okay, how would I feel if somebody was saying that, and but then I would want to know more about the person. Like I would definitely take that initiative to get to see more about the person and what were they doing and stuff like that. So I'm kind of helping people like see like he is a good person. He's not this person that got him pegged to be, because all he wanted to do was that night was save him and his son life. And like I get it, but it seems like they don't get it where we live at.
Yeah. That
Also, after I have some big, well, I've established that he is very like his language. Like we have two, and people always said that we have two different languages. Like, and the way he talk and the way I talk is so totally different. So I'm not going to be able to share a lot of his. I can share his interviews, but a lot of his stuff he does. He's a DJ, so a lot of everything has music behind it. He also has so because of the music and YouTube, and honestly, the first video I actually pulled up when I was started doing everything was Jay-Z, right? I was like, I don't even know how this is even still here because Jay-Z's supposed to shut all his stuff down over everywhere, you know? So I was like, I definitely can't play that video. But when I was looking at it, most of his stuff is DJing and it is, has music behind it. So I couldn't show it, but then he does have the interviews and stuff that I can do little clips of and stuff like that. But as I was researching him, I saw another case of the same type of situation happen with a guy. So I want to kind of share that to because how many now and this guy was in I think Louisville, Kentucky. Now, how many people are going through this across states? So if we can actually get this highlighted, like you just can't like people have to be able to defend themselves. No matter who the other person is, people have to be able to defend themselves. And that's pretty much what's on the agenda for today. I want to say, what? Okay, I can't even say it right, so I ain't gonna say it. But I'm here for a time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. That's how I go, Candy.
Could never do that. But depending on the position that you're put in, you may be in a fight for your life. And so if it's between you and somebody else, you're going to choose yourself if you feel like your life is at risk. So, it is very important because a lot of times we hear about these people, oh, they went to jail for this or they went to jail for murder. And you immediately want to say, okay, well, this person has to be a monster, but you don't know the situation and what could have made them make the decision that they made. So it's always important, when you hear a case like this, to really find out what happened. What happened? What kind of person is this? What kind of character have they displayed up until the moment that that situation happened? So I definitely agree with what Voracious said just now.
Yeah.
You hear? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. So this is one I was trying to find because also he is an as he is a rapper also. He's like a what you call that? A jack of all trades. He got like a lot of hats that he wears. So when he decided that he wanted to be a rapper, of course that was like such a flag to me because of how I already knew how the industry was. Hey Tita, I already knew how the industry was when it came to that, and I knew that I couldn't survive through that or whatever. But then he started seeing what the industry was like too after we started going places and stuff like that. Like he started seeing, and then his idea was to kind of see if he can get his own station. This is what prompted him to start trying to get his own station going. So which was cool. And he went about the different ways, like good ways about it. Because like, okay, so you know how you build your better business, right? And he did that, like to show like this is Google, like he put it up. Yes, everybody, that was the thing. Like he was not cared. Like that was literally our address at that time. That's his phone number, and this is everything he was doing, you know. And he just wanted to make sure that he did, you know what I'm saying? Like he was on the map. Everybody knew where he was. This right here was the house that we lived in and everything. And this is the flag on the car. So everybody knew where we was going. And then he even made one of the best businesses for the area. One of the best business for the area. And this wasn't even people that we knew. This was people like we would go places and he was like, hey, check out the station, businesses and stuff. And he literally had them like playing his station in their store, you know, when they were when they was at work, you know how like you know most people put on a station and everything. So like that's literally what he had going on. And that was like most of his first thing. So it was always about promotion with him. Everything was a promotion. To the point where we had to have t-shirts that had the station on there because everywhere we went and then everywhere I had like he gave me a box. You know how when you order cards and you get like they give you get a box and you get a box free. I literally had to have a box in my car so I could hand out to everybody. Like I didn't mind, but it was like we was always, even when I wasn't at work, I was at work. So, which is one reason like I like the fact for him to do his own thing. Like this was his dream and that's what he wanted to do. So I supported him without taking taking anything from him because I am the type of person like, hey, if I get an idea, I could run off with your thing. So I made sure and stay mindful of not to do that to him. So it's always like, okay, what do you want me to do? Type thing. So yeah, so then that was the one thing. So he went now. He has been doing this, oh Lord, for hmm, yes, Tita, that definitely now that's was big, like elevator music for the store, but actual station. Yes. So with that, I was good with that because that meant that he was playing like a lot of R&B and not yes, we wanted to sound like he wanted to be a good standing. Yes. And that is the whole thing. Like I'm like, if this person that you guys are trying to depict, if that was it, why would all our information be on there? Like at that time, that was his real phone of everything. Like why would we even be that? You know? And like I was happy because he wasn't in the streets. I didn't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Like a lot of women in and out, they husbands in and out. Not a lot of women, but you know, sometimes they be into different things. I was happy that he wanted to be something and he wanted it to be legal, you know. So that was a good thing for me. And then that was also something that, you know, my kids could look up to and not have to worry about too much. I didn't have to worry about too much when it came to that. But that's something he definitely wanted them to take over.
Voracious, tell us again, what were the ages of your children when this incident all took place?
Um, that was in 2020. So in 2021, I think my youngest, they was my oldest was already might have been grown. She might have just turned 21. How old? Were we 2024? So my second oldest at that time, which is his. So I have an older daughter who's
Hmm.
33, but that she's not my husband's.
Hmm.
So at that time she would have been like 29. Um, and my his oldest, which is my second, was 24. My son was, I think my son was 20 because he wasn't even old enough to drink. Yeah.
And so your 20-year-old was the one that was with him when the
Yes.
incident occurred. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just
And
wanted
then
to
my
refresh everyone.
yeah, my 20-year-old was like because that was one of the things like they looked at the bars, they was looking at the cameras to see if he had anything to drink, anything like that. Like, you know, trying to further damage, you know, what they were doing. But my son, my kids are good. My kids are they're not into drinking, or anything, we celebrate Kwanzaa, right? And at Kwanzaa, you have to like kind of take a sip of wine. These kids gave us such a hard time every year about this wine, like having this sip of wine. Like, oh no, like it was the worst thing. Like we was literally giving it. I'm like, no, it's just a sip, and it's for the occasion, and that's it, you know. And then it was what you call that? Like kosher wine, like Concord or something like that. It was something like that. It wasn't even nothing like real, heavy. So yeah, so my son was the one that was with him that night. And my youngest at that time, she was 15. Yeah, she was 15 at that time. So in looking up his stuff, I'm trying to find it. It's funny how you have everything together, but then you don't. But
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all your support. Hit the like button. If you forgot to hit it on your way in, take a quick second and hit the like button. Much appreciated.
is
Hey,
and I'll show you so you have a visual. That is his picture. That's on that I'm using. This is his station's logo. Well, I say this is one of them because when he got to like 1 year, it was gold. And now remember I told y'all how serious he was about letting everything be known, is that our address literally was the 15, right? But so everybody could know it was a station, he had to stick that 98.4 up there so everybody knew, like, yes, this is where the station is and stuff. And people would literally stop by and everything just to be like, and to the point where when his birthday came, and like you would get up and go to the door in the morning because his birthday was like a holiday. None, not like mine. My birthday comes and my birthday goes. But his birthday was like a holiday. Like we would get up the day after his birthday, and this is no matter where we lived at, and it would just be presents sitting at the door. Like the first year it happened, it used to happen like that for him and my son. I think it was a man thing down here. I don't know. But um it would be presents at the door. And we'd be like, what? And for the first year, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not trusting none of this. But he was able to, and then somebody called and asked him, did you see they saw people dropping stuff off and stuff like that? And I was like, that was like so nice. Like, and being that we from New York, so that's why I'm so sketchy. Like, I'm like, hey, no, I don't know about that. But I thought that was nice. Like the people in the community actually supported it, supported everything.
yes, that's nice. You know what? When you mentioned the people in the community, what was their reaction when all this came out? I mean, was there a shock? Like, no, that doesn't sound like him. This can't be. Like, what was the reaction from the community?
It was that like they can't believe that they know he's not that type of person. And like, wow, like like how could this happen? Like, and then they was also surprised to even know that he was with the dude, right? Because like the dude is, like I said, he's a total different lifestyle from him. Like you would it's he it that was it's just one of those things. And that's what they were surprised about, that he had been with that dude because that dude was so different from who he was. and the it still was not what I didn't really like about that is that when the lawyer gave me the job to go find people to be character witnesses and stuff, and I'm asking people to be well, we need you to be a character witness, and everybody's like, oh, like I didn't realize like so many people is just scared of the legal system. So it was like, okay, I'll write you a letter and stuff like that, to the point where, okay, what do you want me to put in the letter? So I'm just like, um, tell people, like, I don't know what you put in the characters. I say, look it up on Google, and then I would give people like an idea of this is what you could put in and whatever like that. But I guess it is like it's a lot of crazy stuff, I guess, that happens there and stuff like that. And I feel like the legal system, like once it gets to the place that it need to get to, I don't think they're going to be too surprised about what happened. So I just want to get it out there so like it's known. Um, yeah, we can read some of the comments. How far back? Oh, hey, MEP. Gigi, y'all my sisters. I'm so proud. All y'all strong sisters. Thank you. Do they miss the radio station? Did they reach out, or they just went with the news after they loved on him like this? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Is his fan base? I was not probably in communication with them like that. Like after this happened, and some people did stop by. If you need anything, whatever, if you need anything, give me a call, contact me. But like for me, it's like people always want to say that if you need anything, whatever, they know I'm not going to ask you for nothing. I'm not going to call you and ask you. If I have not, it sometimes it be pulling teeth for me to speak. So I'm not going to call you if I need something. If you're really like into this, then you're going to really have to reach out to me, because otherwise I'm going to think you're just talking, which I felt like they were. And with nobody reaching out to me, maybe they did, maybe I moved and nobody don't know where I'm at. But then it was another guy that we was friends with and stuff, and he was real good friends, and I even think to the point where he saved my husband's life the week before this happened, because the same dude came over to pick him up and was like, oh, come with us here, whatever. And he was with another guy that my husband never saw before, but my husband had just made plans with the neighbor across the street to do a cookout, so he didn't go. And dude was trying to talk him out of doing that, and so he can come with him and the guy. And I told my husband before this whole thing even happened, I said, I feel like he was setting you up with that. Like whatever he thought was going to go down, he thought it was going to go down that day, but you didn't go with him. And that was what would make my husband block him in the first place, which he unblocked him, which he should have. Um, hold on. I think I went past. Okay. So I don't know if they really missed the station. Though he wanted to do was a yeah, he was his rap sheet was from the time he was 43. I want to say when he passed away. He was a full 40 between 43 and 45. I can't remember. And his rap sheet was already 18 years long at that time. That was another thing that they did not talk about in court. They tried to, they just, I don't even know how. They didn't say anything about it at all. But everybody knew that that's what it was. Tita, oh, they scared. And that's the same thing I said, but if how you're going to be scared, how is anything going to get better if you keep being scared?
Yeah.
Gigi said, just share your live. Yeah, that's the plan. Thank you, Gigi. They need to put their true feelings as far as that person, as you know. Yeah, I know. Like, that's what I would have did. I don't know, like, what's so hard about it. Like, the character is kind of like, and you Google everything, get Grammarly Google and it's going to come up,
Hey, hey, Tita.
Hey, ladies. Hey,
Oh,
Candy. I got you. I see your voice gone.
Yeah, Tita coming up here to push, help and read the questions and help you out if you want. Because you see, I'm still jacked up. Okay, so here,
yeah.
all right,
Where,
I'm gonna
where
be in
your
the
lemon
chat.
water at, sis? Where your lemon water at?
Child, I'm going to go get me some now. Make me a toddy. Okay, y'all.
Okay. Thanks, Candy. Hi, Audra. Tita said, hey, Audra. Everybody said, hey, Audra. We gotta go. We want, is there a news channel that be willing to tell the story and the injustice he has endured? There are two things that I have them. The Tribune, right? And I am literally about 5 minutes from the news station. Trying to figure out if maybe I should. I don't know. I didn't think about going to the news. I just been trying to get in touch with the paper because the paper had put out misinformation, and I wanted to get in touch with them because I wanted them to do another story, like a right story, because they did the story from um the court, which everything was wrong. Like it was just a lot of wrong stuff, and they just ran with that. And I have been sent an email, but they have not contacted me back yet or anything.
Yeah, that I was saying about the as far as the radio station being played in the stores. What about the clients as far as the stores? Like, what do they use now as far as their music and stuff like that to show character as far as his character and his business um agreements and stuff with them? Like, are they willing to like testify or write something for that too? Because I'm
Tita.
sure they're missing if they had a good business plan and relationship with them on that as far as playing the music in their stores and stuff. Like, what did they use for their alternative?
Right. Like right now, I do not know because after this happened, I honestly I don't know what I did. Like first I had to figure out, like it was so much stuff. And I believe that's why God sat me down, because I was just kind of a robot. I was going to work, trying to figure out doing the extra like side jobs. All my product money that I was making was going to either the lawyer or going to his books and stuff like that, until like I couldn't do anything. So I honestly didn't. So maybe that's something I need to go back and talk to these people about, because I should have probably did that, but I was not thinking that way. Because like I said, I've never been in this situation. Like we are not in the life of crime that I always got to be thinking like, okay, let me plan this, let me plan that. Like the stuff we was planning, we planning to buy a house, we planning vacations. Like that's the kind of stuff we planned.
Yeah.
This was a whole different thing for me to be planning right there.
Mhm. That sound like some you could look into too, as far as that, because I'm sure them people like, damn, we had a whole radio deal going on in here now. You ain't got your customers used to it and stuff. You ain't got your your employees used to it. Everybody is accustomed to this radio station playing every day, all day long, while they at work. So
And of
I'm sure
course,
they miss it.
yeah, because and honestly, for a year after this happened, they
Mhm.
might didn't know, because the first year I was still running his radio station for him, like thinking like trying to keep it afloat and stuff like that. So they might didn't even know that this was him or this situation that happened until like all of a sudden it just like I was like, I can't even do it no more until it just dropped off. So they probably don't even know what happened until they read the paper and was like, what? And then the people in the neighborhood, though, like they knew the other guy and they know what type of person he was. So I'm pretty sure they had the same question, like, what the heck was he doing with them?
Yeah. So what you gonna put on your next part of the agenda to look for to put together? We gotta start with the stores. We gotta start with
Yeah.
the newspaper. We gotta start with the news. We gotta start off with which route you gonna go first that you think that'll push the other.
I'm gonna actually start with the stores that like was playing his station and say, hello, hey, this is who I am. Like some of them are gonna know me because I always went with him places and stuff like that. Like when he was doing like contracts and stuff like that, getting like that, I will go with him for things like that. But so I'm gonna start with the store. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna work with this on the stores and the news station at the same time. And I'm gonna go
Mhm.
down. I'm gonna go down to the news station because, like I said, I am not that far. So I was trying to also like because I thought I would be able to what you call it play some of his stuff, but he is straight up to the point. Like that is his station. Like he's raw. So at first was calling himself Raw, and then another station, Raw Radio, what it was on Sirius. So when they came out and they had the name claimed already, he changed that. So that's when he changed his name to Piff Inc. And a lot of the stuff, like he don't like he's raw. Like it's some parts I can't even. This is about the Steelers. He had this one song that kind of introduced himself that I wanted to play for you guys, but I don't even know where it's at now. I was listening to it earlier.
Just take your time and backtrack. I know it's a lot for you. Take your time and look for it. We here. I know you probably skipped over it probably 3, 4 times while you've been looking for other stuff.
Probably so. And then I actually had a
Miss
conversation with him today too. And I'm like, I'm looking at the interviews. I'm like, yo, who is these people? Because a lot of these interviews was in my happened in our house wherever we lived at because he wanted to get a station and he wanted to get a station at actually different buildings so he can have his station someplace else. But every time people found out it was going to be a radio station, they didn't want it. I guess they thought um, it was going to be a lot of people and stuff around like that. But he did try to tell them, like, hey, no, I'm just doing interviews. Like, really, it's not like no party. It's not that type of scene or nothing like that.
Yeah, I think you should start with the stores first. See what they using now and like had it affected their business or whatever. See if it had any influence on their business. You know what I'm saying? As far
Yeah,
as trying to help get it back to where you can pull up those old clients and get the people back behind his name. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because you said you was running it for the time once he got locked up, you was still doing it until you couldn't do it no more. So, and most of them do know you. Or were you just playing like pre-recorded intros to his station or whatever that was already in, or were you actually talking on the station?
No, I wasn't talking on the station at all. I was doing pre-records of what he had done and just like kind of switching the rotation around because I just like now I don't know what to say. So I didn't know what to say. And so I was just like, and then that's kind of when he was just like, you know what, go ahead and shut it down. because we don't even know how long this is going to take. And that was even before we got to the part where he went to court, because it took some time before he even went to court. Thank you, Audra, for framing. Candy, how does this affect your career, clients, coworkers, etc., in addition to other family members? All right, so this, my career, it definitely put an extra strain, because now, whereas his money came from doing his shows, the interviews, the DJing, his money came from there. So like that took a whole person that's contributing to the out onto the household out of the house. The only thing that saved me is that I always get into something. Like I always had something going on. I would do investments, I would do this, I would do that. So I had a lot of little kind of money, different places saved up. And then once it kind of, I think it really hit me, like once I saw that I'm touching that money, it was like, oh my God, what we gonna do? And then at that time, the lawyer was asking for $20,000, right? Um, to do the case. And we was like, okay, like this is what we're gonna do. And so all I'm trying to do is make sure that happened. And so I guess I was just working myself further than I could. My coworkers now, um, I am an open book for the most part, but the people in the line of work I'm in, you can't allow a lot of my coworkers are have client mentality. So it wasn't like I could talk to them. So when it first happened, the next morning I pulled up the same time as my supervisor, who I had developed a friendship with. And she was just like, and then she said, as I was walking up to her, she was like, "What is wrong, Beneath?" She said, "Your face." And then I started telling her, and she was like, "Oh my God." And then we went up, then we went to her office. So we already know I ain't do no work that day, because I had to like still trying to like get it together. Um, as far as my children are concerned, like the coworkers who knew, is certain coworkers that didn't know, which is, if we put it all together, it was about three, and they knew, but they wasn't going to say anything, and all they was going to do was be supportive and everything, which they still are. They still like check on me all the time and stuff like that. Um, then my children. So my son was with him that night. Um, I believe if my son wasn't with him, I don't know if my husband would have fought as hard, and it was probably would have been a different story. My son, till today, he will not admit it. Because he's a boy, so he thinks like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But my son is messed up, and my son needs therapy. I'm trying to talk him into it, trying to get him there to get it and stuff like that. But he is like, oh, I went online. He went to all these therapists online, but not really. They just telling him, what to do, stuff like that. And so I'm trying to get him to like actually see my daughter. So now my oldest daughter, which is, I'm not my oldest, my second daughter, which is his oldest daughter, is his twin. He call her twin because they look just alike. So, and her mental health has been on decline. We've been trying to build her back up. She goes to therapy. They got her doing stuff. So she's actually maintaining right now. My youngest daughter is under the autistic spectrum. So if you ask her, she's always going to say, I don't know. I don't know. And that's all she's been saying for the whole time. When she calls, when he talks, like she doesn't really understand what happened that pulled him out, because all these kids know what he did kept him at home. Like I was a parent that was always out at work. He was at home all the time doing what he did. The longest time he hasn't been around these kids is now, since this happened. Otherwise, and this has been for their whole life, he's been home because this is what he's been doing. And then if he did get it, when he does work like a 9 to 5 or something, he will work at night so that we don't have to like have nobody else watching them and stuff like that. So it's been a real strain, and it's like I just all I'm waiting for is like the a good day to come.
It's
Yeah,
got to come. It's got to come.
yeah. And then even when he talks, he's like, and she'll say, he's like, hey, because in the process, which I know something, she's changed her name. So all my kids' names start with a T. At some point, my youngest daughter, she's changed her name now. We call her Kirby. Um, I'm not sure how much any of this has to do with that, but she had not changed her name before this all happened. So I don't really like she's not. And another thing is too, because she always has to have a therapist. She hasn't been talking to her therapist, so I really don't know what's going on in her head unless she talks to me about whatever she wants to. But she is a fantastic artist. Like she draws like you wouldn't believe. Um, she even sells her drawing. Like she has a thing where she people like buy her drawings and stuff from her like account that she does that, and I feel like she's been doing that more. And if her anything runs out, we have to make sure we get it for her fast.
Well, that's her new therapy.
Yeah.
You know, and if you probably pay more close attention to her art, she probably putting the messages in the art also.
She could be because she definitely comes and whatever's going on in her art, she tells me about it. Um, and I don't. She very well could be putting it in there, and I just not because I just not that artistic like that. Like I don't even know where she got it from. Like she's remarkable to me. What about the rest of the family? Support both sides. Okay, his mom. His mom is awesome, right? When I got sick and I wasn't working, didn't have no income or nothing, his mom stepped in and she has been helping me like with everything because a lot of times when people like where we from, when you get married, oh, that's your family thing. That's what y'all gotta do that, you know. And we've never needed anything from anybody and stuff like that. But the probably, and I'm gonna share this, and it is what it is. The probably the most hurtful thing that happened was when this first happened. One of his aunts was like, okay, let me know anything you need. Da, 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 da. So he was like, so his mom was like, okay. And then she wanted to talk to both of us. And then I was like, well, this is what they're asking for. And like, we're trying to get a payment plan going and stuff like that. Like, you know what? And she was like, and then she just came right back and was like, well, Quran got a lot of money. So we could so y'all should be all right. And I'm like, I got a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why even offer? Like that really hurt my feelings. But then I was like, you know what, I thought about the like how families be like, you know what, okay, well, that's your thing, whatever. And but I don't have a lot of money. I just work. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to save my money, and I just do a lot of things to bring money in. Like that's it. And I don't know what made her think that or why she offered and then like said that. Like I felt like I didn't understand. So that kind of put me in a certain way. But his okay on his he has sisters and brothers altogether is 10 of them, right? Um, No, but that's just from his dad's side, and then it's got two more from his mom because he has an older sister and brother. So they do help as much as they can, like his siblings on his mom's side. if they can send money, stuff like that, they do. They part of the phone calls. They talk about, help him keep his head up. Now, when he got one sister from his family, well, he got a lot of sisters from his father's side, but a lot of siblings from his father's side. But it's not that much communication with them. He did get to speak to one of his sisters a couple of weeks ago before they like kind of messed up on the visits that we was having and stuff. But family support is not, it's not where it should be. Like, it's not where I would like it at. And I don't know if maybe because I feel like that because that's my husband. But if my husband's family member was in that any type of situation like that, he would be like, okay, Karan, we got to do this and that and whatever, and I would be like, okay, because that's how I am. But I'm very into family, and I'm not a selfish person either. So I tend to family do better, yes, but I am not going to complain because I definitely appreciate the people who have been there helping me and especially helping keep his head in the right place.
So are there any of his family members that do like the DJ thing, the art thing? Like what's their backgrounds as far as they talents and stuff, or something that they can help contribute to get his message and his story out with you? Like your daughter, she has the art, right?
Mhm.
Then you got somebody that can help you with the radio station if they want to speak or if they even know anything about it. Because I'm sure he just didn't keep all his stuff to himself. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gave some type of inspiration in the family to do something. So, you know what I'm saying? He didn't inspire none of them to be artsy or I mean, I just don't see
Siblings, right?
nobody letting his legacy just go down and all because something happened. Nobody wants to keep it afloat but you.
Well, my kids at the time, they wasn't my son headspace, he's not there because that's who my husband was training to take over his station and
Okay.
and
Okay.
stuff like that. So his head is not there, and he feels like, so he didn't have too much competence. What you call that? Like with the police, he did not have too much confidence in them in the first place. And then when with this situation happened and the police came and they twist his words up and stuff like that, so I feel like they messed him up a little more than he could. Like he can be better. Like he can be better, but he feel like how they bamboozled him.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like does he work like write in a journal or anything? Like try to encourage him to write in the journal and maybe he'll be able to let it out some type of way, you know what I'm saying, where he could see his work. Even his could be a book or
Right.
him talk to his sister and they collab on something and she tell his story through her art. I mean, I'm just thinking of other ways to get it out to where it still be on a positive note to make people look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because they already done threw so much salt in the wound. Like you just written this man off, and he was very much an asset to y'all community.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So when his dad died, he talked that he has a brother, right? And I didn't even know this until like a couple of months ago. And I guess his brother did take up what he said, but his brother started some type of podcast or something with another guy, and it seems to be doing well. Now I just found him on Facebook, but how I found out about what he was doing was through his mother. And then they was telling me like, hey, call him and see if he can like do the story, stuff like that, and on his podcast or whatever he do. So then I've been looking at stuff and I was like, well, his sister, like, they all in communication, like, so why wouldn't his sister talk to his brother about that and everything? So I'm like, okay. So now that I found out about that, so now I've been trying to communicate with his brother about everything.
Yeah,
His
well, they
daughter's
probably just
birthday is
didn't know what
today.
your headspace was with it, you know what I'm saying, to not even push the issue on it. But like I said, you reaching out to him now, even if his mama saying that that's something that he wanted to do, I'm sure she know that they talked about it before, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
From
Well,
that.
yeah, his sister talked to him about it. So then I guess he's just waiting to talk to me. So then today, when I was looking today, it's his daughter's birthday. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna let them live today, and then we will. So then I will try to get him set up so that he can actually, maybe do a show or something on his side. I'm not really sure what kind of shows he do, but I don't think this matter. Like we can just pull this in because this is your brother now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Hey, Heavy.
Hey, Heavy. Little candy, that's good because some people, yeah, and that's the thing that I worry about because I'm like, everybody know I've always been like me and my husband been down for a long time. So, and we've been through a lot and we've overcome a lot. So it's like I'm not gonna sit there and like leave him out there like that. Like as long as I'm here, like he's gonna be good one way or another. What witnesses, Candy? The ones that Oh yeah, and I have to say this part too. So the object was at some point we're going to start going through the transcripts. I am having a difficult time getting them scanned into the computer because it's back and forth. So I'm trying to get somebody to scan them for me and email them to me, and that's kind of what's taking a long time for that part to happen too. But it's enough to talk about until I get to that part. Which witnesses, Candy? Yes. So the people that by the time like this part happened, the witnesses they had was the man and the lady that was a couple and my son. So the man and the lady that was a couple, the crazy part about it is by the time the case went to court, neither one of them really knew who my husband was. They could not point him out in the courtroom. But the lawyer kept trying to say, "Oh, do you see the person that was in the yellow jacket?" Because of course he didn't have a yellow jacket, but then he's the only black person in there. So it's just like it was so crazy, like how they were doing it. But you can see the guy and the girl, they did not remember that that was my husband.
Yeah,
So
those questions was leading. They weren't supposed to do that.
exactly, exactly. And it's all of that when it go through the transcripts and everything is that. So the people at the bar, even when they talked to the people who worked at the bar, they said that, oh no, my husband was there, said they remembered that my son had a Sprite. I said they're gonna remember him for the rest of his life because they got scared because they thought they was gonna, say something, but be something. But it wasn't even like that. My son had a Sprite, and they said that my husband had a Heineken. Um, and they was like, they was sitting there, and it was like, and they told him like the other guy was around talking to everybody, stuff like that, and it was noticeable that he was there. Even when they pulled the cameras, they could see that my husband and my son is sitting there, and the other dude is just around. He's just mingling and stuff like that, I guess. But he was really probably trying, not probably, he was really just looking for a victim.
Yeah. Yeah, but the only other witnesses it would have been Candy is when they seen them left when they found them in the street and picked up the pow pow. So or was looking for it. Now as far as them, they wasn't even at the bar, so they don't even know how they even ended up in that spot. You know what I'm saying? That's where all the they went from one place to the next and It's they word against your son, and that's crazy.
Right. And they was like, because, and like my son said a couple of different things. Because at first he was like, he wasn't even there. Like when he first told me, that's why I said, like, I wasn't there. When my son first told me, he was like, I wasn't even there. And then I'm like, I already knew he was there because, I saw them come in the house together. So, um, but that's just that was the beginning of him trying to separate himself from the situation.
Pretty much. Yeah, it is. It's just. It's very much unfortunate that he did bring him home, and then he was able to, you know what I'm saying, to say you wasn't there, you was here. You know what I'm saying, when they got him on the camera, but then he still want to testify because he was there to see exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
So
it's like, damn, man, I don't know if I'm saving them or I'm helping putting them there. You know what I'm saying?
and that was another thing that kind of messes with him, I believe, because a lot of people was like, "Oh, your son," like he said, "Your son put you under the bus and whatever." But people don't realize when you're subpoenaed to court, and of course, I went to find out, like, this is his father. Does he have to go get on the stand? And they was like, yeah, when you're subpoenaed, you have to get on the stand. All right. So when he got on the stand, he said what he said, what it was, whatever he remembered and stuff like that. But that wasn't what they was okay with. You know what I'm saying? So the prosecutor just went and said whatever. And then on this particular case, he's just like special prosecutor that he went to some class, so he's able to twist words up better and stuff like that. That's what I was informed about him, and I was like, we needed that type of prosecutor, and that's exactly what he did. He twisted up all the words, and then the fact that he had a lawyer that wasn't mentally there, it just was like crazy. So one, let me see.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have to basically get a lawyer. I don't know if they be able to do that just because of the HIPAA law to see how long that other prosecutor, that public defender, had cancer and stuff like that before he even got on your husband's case or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, like, because we already know that that part is definitely a mistrial. But that man wasn't even capable of doing his damn job. So you couldn't even defend us against the lawyer that got the funny words, the expensive words. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't even mentally there.
Right. He couldn't. He definitely wasn't ready for that type of prosecutor. No matter what, he wasn't ready for no prosecutor, if you ask me. Because I want to say, before my husband's case, he had already been out on medical leave. Then he came back, and then that's how he landed on that case. And then right after is when he was back out again, and he never came back after that. He passed away. Um, it I think one of the lawyers, the one that did it, and then when for the sentencing and what's his name, the lawyer, the judge is like, oh, rest in peace. And the way he said when he was in court, the way he was like, rest in peace, it wasn't like concern, it was like a more of a ha ha moment, which is why is like I believe the judge, I believe the whole thing, and this is just my analogy of it. The judge was mad because my husband wrote that letter about his friend, and he felt the way, and that's why it's not okay. Well, it's not okay for a whole bunch of reasons, but
I sure would like to know, like, what company picked up at these stores? Like, was it why you? Because the way you saying like everybody is tied to each other, it
Hmm.
probably was one of them. Like, okay, let's get him at it. I'm tired of hearing him on our radio stations. He taking away all our business. It might have been a competitive company that what I'm saying picked it up. That's in ties with them too. You know what I'm saying? So just be a little bit more cautious when you do go to these stores, if you know what I'm saying, with the questions that you ask.
I believe it could. I agree with that 100% because at the end of the day, he's still a black man. And how are you doing this? Like he's doing something that no other person in this area, black, I should say, had tried to do before. And
Right.
even the same guy and a whole bunch of other guys, like my husband's agents, like, how you think you gonna have a radio station? Like that is so far from their mind that this is something that what he was doing was actually happening. You know, that they was like, ain't no, these white people not gonna let you do that. And pretty much was they probably upset that he had this going on? Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. And I think you're right that that did play a part in it, you know.
Just, I mean, we got to find out how to play around with the words when you go up there and ask them about them the radio station and what they use now and all that. But I would do like a mini investigation with that on top of seeing are they willing to speak for your husband and all that stuff also. Because if everybody's still using the same company, like how did y'all know to get into it with a same company? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When the only company that was starting you off with this was my husband's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure all of them ain't team up and get the same company to do exactly what your husband was doing for them in their stores.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
So that's why I said just try to be cautious with that, but still try to find out who they use now if they still even doing something like that.
Yes, heavy. That's my husband. That's my profile picture. Um, hold up. I had this. Let me see if make sure this is what I wanted to, because it's just
You cut out. V1, you cut out if you still there. How have you ladies evening been on this Saturday? Audra, where you been at, Miss Audra? I can't V1 not talking. I don't know what happened with her. V1, go back, come out and come back in. Oh, she left out. She'll come back. Having technical difficulties over here. Hey y'all, hey. What y'all think about these YouTube streaks that's been going on though? We got a lot of drama going on, right? Miss V1, come back, Corinne. I was a little late too, Heavy. Then I heard Candy Girl up here couldn't speak. She trying to get reloaded, y'all. Computer froze on her.
Oh, I was late last night. I don't believe I was late.
It's still acting up, Heavy. Hold on. She's back.
All right. Yeah, miss. All right. You know what? I was supposed to start this out, as okay, so my husband's name, I think I never told you guys. His name is Stuart. It's Stuart Ali. If you ever want to look the story up, it's Stuart. Um, he is not the son of a sharecropper or nothing like that, but he is definitely an individual, like his own individual personality. And sometimes like people take and leave, like that's how come I was like I was looking at stuff to show. I'm sorry about the little thing what happened. My computer, I don't know what. I should have restarted it before I even started, but I was working all day. Um but yeah, is this is definitely all been an experience that I would have never known that would have been part of my life. Because when we got married, like umpteen years ago, it had to be like 28 years now. So when we got married, and I told him, if you ever go to jail, I'm leaving you. I said, I'm not the type of girlfriend or wife to be chasing after somebody that's going to be in jail, running back and forth. I said so, and I told him that. So when this happened, he definitely believed me. So when this happened, he said, um, I know you're going, and I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I said, yes, that's different. Like, this is a whole different case. I was talking about, like, if you put yourself in situations and that's what you chose to do with your life, it's like, I couldn't stick by that because that's not what I'm about. Rock. So I had another, so I was sitting there as I was looking. Oh, this is one of the, let me see if this is. Okay, so he has been in numerous groups, right? But groups that he made. Not only has he been in groups, he's helped, like, they have this streaker, it's called, and it's for people who are not DJs who would like to be DJs. He had a whole following of people just for that. People wanted to be DJs, and he would let him do shows on his channel and stuff like that, so that they can get it, that they can get themselves seen and out there and stuff. I'm gonna let a little piece of this play.
I'm from the home of Jay-Z, home of B.I.G., home of Boot Camp, half of BWC, home of Bojangles and 50 Cent Lucy's, home of Sticker Pig, shoplifters and groupies. Pause. It's the sergeant, baby. I'm so Brooklyn like papoose and gravy. Catch me downtown with the fight out of Newport, so Broadway Junction with the heat and the dance floor.
So that was this
As an intro.
for that particular song, because he was like, so BWC, I forgot what BWC meant. I don't know. I forgot what the name stood for, but it was two guys from New York and two guys from PA. So, and like that's what they was doing, and they all come in on that. Now that I think that rhyme is explicit. Like that's the cleanest part of the rhyme that's gonna happen. And most of everything, that's probably the cleanest part. And how your husband feel now that you're putting
Yes, heavy. That sound good.
so honestly, he said he gave me the idea. Like but he kind of didn't want to give me the idea at first, but he gave me the idea initially. And I asked him, I was like, do you think I can do it? And then he got faith that I can like put the story out and stuff like that. Um And I think I can do it too. Like, well, I'm doing it, so that's fine. But I think I can do it too. But it's just that I I don't know. I just lose my train of thought.
Just
Oh,
don't anticipate the disappointment behind it. You already know you already said you was put in this position to do it.
yeah.
He said he got the faith that you can do it. You already said you're gonna do it, so it ain't nothing to it. And all that rhymed. Put me on the BWC.
um. So he feels like it was so good. And as for my marriage, okay, so I feel like we was pretty strong going into this, which I feel like is a good thing. Um, the day this happened, we literally had like probably the biggest argument that we had in probably about 2 years, right? And I didn't even argue with him. I went upstairs and went to sleep because I was like, I'm not even arguing, you know? So once that happened, that's when he's like, and he did text me and call me and stuff, ask me to come downstairs or whatever, but I was asleep like the whole time. It do be some points that I was like, dag, I wish I would have woke up because then he wouldn't have. But like I said, I was asleep. I was tired. Like at that point, I wasn't working two jobs anymore. So I was learning that, hey, I don't need to work two jobs. I can just work the one job because I had just been so used to all my life, even coming from New York, I had always worked two jobs. So I was just so used to working two jobs that I didn't realize that I didn't need COVID happen. And then that's when I was like, oh, wow, look, I don't even need two jobs. But I had just got so used to that, and that's just a New York state of mind, I believe, and I had to get off of that. That's why COVID happened. One is because I needed to start working two jobs. That was my first reality of something. But I'm definitely feeling like I definitely feel like I can do this. And I have another video, like, so I just needed a piece so you can kind of hear his voice and stuff like that. I can put his link in. If your ears can bear it, you can actually go in and go on this page and listen to his like stuff and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you,
Girl, V1, we
because
done heard all the stuff that I'm sure whatever he's saying in his songs is not nothing as bad as we think it will be. What you think it will be to us.
probably not. But I'm just saying. I want to put it out there. It's explicit X. There's a whole bunch of X's need to be on there, like. But
We understand hip hop from back in the day.
all right. So this one show, almost not one show, but I was like doing some work and I came across this and I was like, oh wow, okay. So it's not just here. This happened someplace else at the same time, apparently. So give me 1 second. Thank you, Heavy, and thank you, Heavy. All right, where we go?
He told me if I didn't get the money out of my pocket right then, that the guy that was standing over there to ambush me was going to shoot me. And once I took my eyes off of him, he hit me. I ran around the car because he started yelling, shoot, 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 don't let him leave, shoot. And that's why I started shooting.
Ja'Cory Burns of Louisville is charged in the murder of 22-year-old Lonnie Oxendine.
Burns shot Oxendine outside City Center in downtown Lexington on charges of murder and assault.
They put me on the ground handcuffed me and took me to the police station for interrogation. Everything was taken from me within like seconds.
Well, a trial has started for the man accused of shooting and killing an aspiring rapper in Lexington
His
last
testimony
year.
yesterday, Burns claims it was in
The
self-defense.
prosecution argued Burns brought a gun to a fist fight.
Whenever there's a body in a homicide, unless you're wearing a uniform, there's going to be a charge.
Today I'm sitting down with Ja'Cory Burns, a fellow USC.
All right. That part right there where it says what
I
they're
was
saying.
just gonna say, can you pause it? Because what he mean? Anybody that's carrying a gun that's outside a uniform is gonna automatically be a charge. What happened to the right to bear arms? What happened to that?
Exactly. One, and then they gonna tell him, "Oh, you brought a gun to a fist fight." That boy ain't went out there to fight in the first place.
He didn't even swing back when he just got hit in his face.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, and when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is like the same, because that was the thing with dude. My husband was driving when he punched him in the face. Now, that part, my son said, and the lawyer, like, I can't wait to get these transcripts on the thing. But that part when my son said that when he saw dude punch my husband in the face while he was driving. So the prosecutor took that as, oh, he did all of this because he had to make a point to his son after being punched in his face while driving. So,
Oh my God! No, they didn't try to pull it out. Like
yeah,
it's supposed to be a macho thing, an ego thing.
yes, yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm getting back to it.
I'm so sorry.
CCA member.
That's-
He went through an intense self-defense incident and its legal aftermath. We'll talk about this incident and how the education, training, and self-defense liability insurance benefits in his USCCA membership helped him survive this violent encounter and the aftermath. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.
Hell,
all the
he
way to the
chasing
end.
them, and like you punched him in the face twice, and you chasing.
Ja'Cory, thanks for taking the time.
Exactly. And that, when I tell you, like, they out the car, but it's the same situation. When the people was getting out the back, dude ran around to the driver's side to where my husband was. Like, it's the same, like the aggression is there. It's, I'm like, and yeah, same.
Time, I want to talk about your story and we'll get right into it. Began with a dispute over money. Tell me about how this all sort of played out, the backstory a little bit before it all got started.
It started, I had through an event the night before, and the event went sour. When the event went sour, I had a lot of people approach me. As the people approached me, everybody wanted their money back. I wasn't able to give everybody their money back, and I went home. After that, once I went home, I had to go and give one of the guys their plane ticket back home that was supposed to be performing. When I got to the hotel to give him his plane ticket to get back home, that's when this incident took place.
Yeah. So, and we're not talking about a huge amount of money. This guy that you were dealing with that ended up attacking you, he was wanting what, $900 or something like that?
$900.
Yeah, $900. And that's all it took to set him off. So
Yes, sir.
I've watched the video of the incident. I kind of watched what happened and how everything rolled out. And I want you to kind of talk me through this a little bit. When I'm watching this, it just looked like two guys talking in
Yes,
the
sir.
lobby of a hotel.
Yes, sir.
And I saw you head outside, and then things went really bad, and all of a sudden he's punching you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you were feeling at that moment. I mean, in the hotel, were you worried about this guy at all?
I was, because I was trying to calm this guy down because I knew his ego was in the way when he was in front of his buddies. So when he told me to come outside, I thought that was a good way to get his ego out of the way, and we have a grown man conversation, and then we go about it like that. And I tell him, well, if I owe you, I'll give you your money back. If I don't owe you, then I won't give you your money back. I didn't know that he had his buddy outside waiting on me to ambush me when I got there.
And from what I could see, this this secondary guy, and the guy who attacked you referred to his friend as the shooter. I mean, this is when you were discussing it with the man who eventually attacked you. What was he saying that made you think, man, this is going to go bad and I'm going to have to defend myself?
Yeah, he told me if I didn't get the money out of my pocket right then, that the guy that was standing over there to ambush me was going to shoot me. So therefore, once I took my eyes off of him and looked at the guy that was alleged the shooter, he hit me.
Yeah.
So everything that he said and did wasn't a factor anymore. I was only worried about the shooter. So therefore, that's why I ran around the car. As you can see in the video, I ran around the car, and that's why I started shooting, because he started yelling, shoot, 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 don't let him leave, shoot.
Now I watched this video, and to me, it looked textbook. What kind of training did you have, if any, before this happened? Because what I saw was a man, you, taking immediate action, moving to get towards cover, to put some space between.
Yes, sir.
Drawing a gun almost perfectly. And I was going frame by frame on this video, and I stopped it. And the guy who attacked you, he wasn't more than 2 feet away from you when you got your gun out and
Yes,
up and stopped that threat. So what were you thinking when that happened? And what sort of training or what sort of practice have you done before that?
Well, before this, 2 months before this, prior, I was going to school, classes to be a downrange officer. So I wanted to be like, teach people the safety behind guns, how to use your gun, how to pull your gun, where not to point your gun and things of that sort. So based off of that, that's where I was headed. And that's some of the training that I had, just gun safety. And when this took place, it was just instinct.
Yeah.
He was yelling, and I had to map out where they were with sound. So when he was behind me, I had to pull my gun and turn around and aim it at him. You know what I mean? And then once I hit him, I had to turn around and aim my gun at the shooter and not get hit.
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
We're watching this, and I see you kind of address the shooter. What were you thinking as you moved toward cover, as you hopped in your car?
I was thinking that he was going to return fire. I thought that he ran around the car to take cover to return fire, but he ran in the building, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I was in shock.
Well, yeah, and as dynamic as the situation is, he's moving and you lost sight of him.
Yes, sir.
You got to expect that
he's coming back.
In a minute or more, in that time frame, the other guy telling him to shoot you, somebody's probably coming out to shoot you.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to talk about what might be a difficult part about this. You left the scene.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did at any time you think about, maybe I get behind this car and take cover and wait for the cops to show up? Or what was going through your mind at that point? Because it's, we tell people to make sure that they get safe. And I'm sure that's what you were thinking, was like, I got to get the hell out of here. I don't want to get shot.
Who the hell waits
but
after they being shot at?
So this was the other part that mimics my husband's case, because you remember I told you he brought my son home.
Exactly.
So he left the scene as well. The one part that the same prosecutor, like he has some words, like he was like, oh, he gonna leave him there by himself. Who, dude that just tried to take him out? There was no, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I told him at that point, I said, well, dude was trying to take him out along with my son, because you cannot tell me if he did my husband, he wasn't gonna do my son.
Right, he wasn't gonna leave no damn witness.
You can't tell me that. So with that being said, what do you expect somebody to do? The thing to do is fight or flight. That's a thing, actually. So maybe as a police officer, they don't understand what that means. But this is why it was very important for his lawyer, my husband's lawyer, to put a psychologist on the stand so that they could explain what fight or flight is.
And look, now they're using it all the time. Now that they got the terminology correct, like everything that we make or do, they have to analyze it for whatever they want to say it is, until we could prove them wrong is what we meant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
heavy my son's words, because when it was so there was a fight, right? Not a fight. Well, I guess it was a fight where they was fighting for the gun. However it stood, my husband ended up with the gun. So dude said, and this will all be in there, so it's not like so, and dude said to him, like, when my husband had it, and my husband just wanted dude to leave, dude said to him, and my husband told him this, but they in court, I don't even think they said this piece in court. But when my son wrote his statement, I was sitting there, so I know it's in his statement. So all they got to do is pull his statement and be like, okay, why why you didn't mention this in court? That after the tussle for the gun, my husband ended up with it. Dude was back. My husband told him, like, leave, stop. And he was like, you're not going to shoot me. And that's when he started coming at my husband again. So that part right there, they used pieces of that of my son, and that's what they talked about. That's what they used in court, but they didn't. You know how they ask you a question, but they want you to state, oh, just answer this part of the question, don't answer the rest. Oh, we didn't ask you that.
Right. They didn't. Right. They don't let you get the whole truth out.
So that's what they did. And that part right there is, I know that is what messes with my son, because he's thinking that, hey, I could just tell the truth and this will be okay, whatever. And it's not. They took his words and they screwed them up. Like, and I tell you, like, this is something like I pray about, because I want my son, I don't want him to be messed up like for the rest of his life. I want him to get the help that he needs. So I pray that at some point that he does get the help that he needs, and he just will listen to me and just talk to somebody. But I feel like he's waiting, like, if everything work out, when everything works out right with his dad and stuff like that, then that's when I think he's gonna be willing to do that. Until, like, right now, because I gotta worry about I have to worry about, like, a couple of weeks ago I found out that my son was even suicidal. Now that wasn't cool. I'm like, yo, how I didn't know that? My daughter had to sneak and tell me that she's been helping him maintain his mental health. Meanwhile, her mental health ain't all that great, So
V1.
yeah,
How often do your son talk to your husband?
my son has not had a conversation good with my husband since this happened.
Oh my Jesus. And do he want to talk to him or he don't want to talk to him?
I feel like when people was like, oh, your son is the one that threw you under the bus and stuff like that, I feel like my son feels that way as well. I feel like he is taking responsibility of that. And that's
So
be trying to get him, like, nah, that's not you. That's their twisted way of thinking. Like, I don't want him to feel like that.
do you think if it's any way your husband could get to him to get him to actually seek the therapy, or either, like I said, write it down or tell him that it ain't his fault? Or I mean, I don't know.
I feel like he's the person that can get through them, because the only reason he was out with my husband that night, not the only reason, but they have been doing this bonding thing with each other, and so he will, and my son was really taken to it, like it was good, like, okay, he was really good with it. So I feel like he thinks he let my husband down, which I keep telling him, like, I keep trying to reiterate to him that he didn't. Even though I don't know if that's the case, I still, like, have the conversation with him about, how messed up some people are, especially in the legal system, especially in Westmoreland County, And my son was 20 when this happened. So, oh, you answered it. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so I just think that that's part of it because my husband's trying to talk to my son always like he'll say, okay, so now recently he'll come in, he'll say, hey, I'm doing, but he always has something smart to say. But that's normal because he always has something smart to say. Like my son is just like he's always has something smart to say. And he's been doing that with my husband lately. So I feel like that's like making a barrier. But the next time I go to visit him, I would like to take my son with him. They didn't make that hard for me with the thing because with the little new system they got going on, but I have to I'm gonna get my son registered in because he's already approved to go visit,
Mhm.
but now they want him to get put make a thing on a computer and watch his email, and then 30 days later they'll let him know like all of the extra. I don't know what that's about, but
Maybe because he was a witness.
no,
And
they
y'all still trying to fight it too. Yeah, make sure he ain't passing them nothing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they definitely don't want your son to speak, and that's what the whole hold up of this shit is. I'm sorry, but just talking about it just put me in a whole different mind state. What about as far as your daughter has her relationship with him to as far as speaking on it since she is in contact with your son more often with helping him through this?
she so my
You
daughter
think you
posts
think
a
she'll be able to talk to him to get him to talk to they dad?
no. She's been doing the best she can,
Okay.
but he
You there, everyone? Uh-oh. Yes, Abby, I can see how this has changed your son. He witnessed a traumatic event that involved his father. Woo, woo, child. Yes, definitely got to keep him in our prayers. All of them. V1, we lost you again. Yep, we lost her again. Another Quello, she be back. Yeah, Heavy. I was just trying to see, like, even with her daughter being in contact with with her brother, you know what I'm saying, and trying to help him through it. But even if she could relay the messages from their father to him, maybe to make him feel a little more easier to talk, to get ahead and go ahead and talk to his father or go see him. Yeah, Candy, to be a witness and then for your words not to be heard and twisted up, and then I know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Like, you tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God with your right hand on the Bible and in your hand in the air in front of the people, and they won't even let you talk. Like, that's crazy. Man, the court system fail everybody. Well, not them, but us. So I wonder the outcome of that other story that V1 was just playing. Like, did he spend time in jail, or I mean, how long did he serve in there for this, and did they ever let him out, or what was his way of getting out of it if he got out of it? Well, I'm sure he got out of it because he's telling his story, but Like, how long did it take for them to overturn it and release him and say that it was self-defense when it's clearly self-defense?
Hey, you guys. It has been a oh, she's back. I was about to come in it. She's back.
Yes, she trying to reconnect it. She back, Candy girl.
Yes, that I know in the future to make sure I do the restart before I do this show. Um, yes, I know, Heavy. I feel so bad.
I know, right? Heavy Candy voice all the way gone.
Yeah, and I know, and for him, I feel like
Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know what happened to me last time, but I see him up here 2 times.
You said what?
I said I see him up here 2 times.
Well, keep it up there. Don't worry about it. The other one probably you on your phone.
Oh no, I had tried.
Or
Okay,
using another browser.
yeah, the other one dropped. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like it's like one, like it's my husband, son, like y'all, like really messing up family dynamics here. That I work so hard to have some type of normalcy, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. It's just like, okay, now we just have to figure out how to do this out with our life now.
Do you know the outcome of the other story you was playing? As far as like how much time he had served and everything?
Yeah. So he wound up doing 400 days in jail, right?
Mm.
The reason, so he did 400 days in jail, 400 and something days in jail. So he was in there for over a year.
Uh-huh.
The only reason he had joined, he was part of a gun, he had got part of a gun club because you heard him say that he was trying to, teach people how to use weapons. So because of that piece right there, that is literally what saved him. That club that he was involved in, they sent him a lawyer that specialized in that. So the state, they was not able to. So what they did to my husband, they wasn't able to do to him because of that right there.
Jesus.
So
Well, hell, and what state was that in? That's the same county and stuff.
no, that was in Kentucky
Oh, okay, okay.
that happened. And it seemed like about the same okay, so self-defense. So the guy, and this is my son told him that. Like the guy was the one who was pulling the weapon. That's when the fight started with my husband and Duke. Because once my husband saw the weapon, saw him pulling something out, that's when he just started like fighting hard or whatever, and he was able to get it. So and the guy was even bigger than my husband. So at that time, well, my husband had gained weight now, but at that time, the guy was bigger than my husband. So the
Yeah, but he trying to defend him and your son. So he
right,
got a person that's scared is stronger than a person that's the aggressor.
exactly, because the aggressor, like dude, probably thought he had him. You know what I'm saying? Because of everything that just happened, it would appear that he had the one up on my husband. It would appear that way because he hit him. He made it out the car. He ran around there. You know what I'm saying? So he was all on his thing. And plus, my husband was trying to stop him from getting money. It don't matter that it was other people money. That's not what dude concern was. He was trying to stop him from getting money because he wasn't down with the robbery. Like that alone is so dude his planning this robbery, and then the person he's with is like, hey, no, I'm not being a part of that. No. And then he wants to fight dude, but then he ends up to be the one deceased. I mean, I watched so many shows where that would account for something, but in Westmoreland County, that accounts for nothing. So since dude was pulling the weapon, my husband was able to get the weapon from him and still did not shoot automatically. And I got that piece from my son. Said, hey, stop. And dude was like, you're not gonna shoot me. And dude was probably sure that my husband wasn't going to shoot him because that's not the type of dude my husband is. So he was probably sure, like, oh, he ain't gonna shoot me. He's not even into the gun thing like that. But that's not what happened. Definitely not what happened. I feel like it was self defense and it was a no brainer for me. And I ain't gonna lie, like where we at right now, just don't understand how we got here. Like how we don't understand that. Like, and that's what I keep telling my husband. I was like, yo, this is definitely a movie.
Read the back chat. Yes, heavy. Definitely self defense. Nowhere around it. So I'm just the similarities in their stories, and that's why I was curious, like how did dude get off from this? But by him having the gun club and his experience of the training and all that stuff, they couldn't say it was something that was premeditated and stuff like that. Versus the difference in your husband, they saying like they planned this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole different story.
Right. But honestly, I don't even see that. It didn't make. I have to get those transcripts one thing because it don't even sound like that when you like they just came off of that. And then the mere fact that we've had heard so many stories that he was a informant for them and stuff like that. All of that stuff, it makes sense now because if that's their informant or that's whatever, then yeah, they have more personal relationship involved than than people know.
That's
But
because they
some
don't care.
of that
They
stuff,
don't care heavy.
right? We don't know
Yeah.
that for sure. That's just what other people was telling us. So since we don't know that for sure, like that doesn't even hold anything. But yeah,
Mhm.
that was the only other thing that because it's the USCCA is what he was is like with that dude, and like that was the best thing that dude. I mean, if my husband would have known, he should have got into some type because they got a million gun clubs here because this is a carry state
Mhm.
and you are able to defend yourself. And as I said on the last live, the way you defend yourself, um, if somebody is jeopardizing in your home, your
And
car,
then
or
your
your
car.
person,
Right. He did all of that.
right?
He
So
did.
exactly. So with that being said, like, how are we even here now?
So
So
what is like the main charge of why they saying it couldn't possibly be a self defense? Is it they saying because he left the scene of the crime, or they're saying because they couldn't find the weapon or the witnesses? What was the key thing that said no, we locking you up for this?
well, the one thing is okay. So when my husband, for somebody he didn't want to shoot, but once he shot the first time, he said the gun just kept shooting. So dude caught everything, but what the prosecutor didn't know is that before the lawyer that he had, because we started out with a paid lawyer, but he did only tell me certain things, but everything he told me, like I kept it. Like the one thing he told me is that the first shot happened in his thigh. And it looks like that shot probably happened when he was taking the gun out of his pants, talking about the other guy. And then like while they was fighting, like this is what most likely happened. And when he took it, so then when he had it, and then they said that the bullets kind of walked up. So the one which was the last shot is he's trying to say it was the prosecutor is trying to say that's the first shot. But if the first shot was the last shot, that means my husband would have had to shoot him, flip
Right, he
him
would have
over.
had to had a gun first, and not it wouldn't
Right,
have been a tussle.
right,
Because in the
right.
position of pulling the gun out your pocket, out your waist, it's already in a downward mode, right? So if
Mhm.
your husband is catching him in the midst of him pulling it out his waistline, out his pocket, whatever, the gun is still pointed down. So as he pulling it up, your husband is pushing it down. He already got his hand on the trigger coming out. So you actually shot yourself.
And that's how I believe that my husband got the gun anyway.
Exactly. Because the trigger had already been being pushed. It probably was
Mhm.
jammed as they tussled with it. And once your husband got his hands on it, like he said, it just kept shooting.
Yeah.
But it definitely two handprints on the gun. You know what I'm saying? Two different sets of handprints.
But that's why I think because like we said, like they probably have it and well, I ain't gonna say probably, I believe they have it. And they don't want to acknowledge that this the two sets of handprints on there because they trying to say it's like, oh, he shot him in the back and then he flipped him over and then shot some more times. But meanwhile, the lady that first heard the gunshot that lived across the street, she said it took her about 30 seconds to get outside after she heard the last shot, right? And she said that on the stand. She came right out. I think her time frame was less than 30 seconds. So for my husband to flip him over all of that, impossible. But they because like I said, he was bigger than him too. And is like and everything dude had on him, like they had everything, like the money he stole from the people. They did not say they found any substances, but he was trying to take the money anyway. So I guess that part didn't matter.
Right. Right, but even was he high? What I mean, because
Dude
for him to
was
be
they
doing
say
all of
he
that,
had stuff in his system. Yeah, they said he had coke in his system.
so not only is he bigger than your husband, he's he man off of the coke, and then come on now, these people crazy as hell.
And that's why
And you
we
got your son with you. Yeah, you got turn into the Incredible Hulk and save you and your son against this demon that's running towards you with a gun.
yeah, you
He
gonna
already
turn
done socked you in your
sure.
jaw.
The lawyer can't. What happened, the bad part about the lawyer is that if is that we did not know the lawyer that we had obtained was dude's lawyer for the past all his 18 years worth of crime. That's what we didn't know. And that's where this whole thing got bamboozled and everything went wrong because we feel like, was still working with the family. And no matter what we paid them, the family was going to pay him more because I believe the lawyer went to school with the baby's mother's mother. So they knew each other already. So this is what the problem was. This is what the whole problem is. It's like these people are too niche together. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm willing, what I want is a good lawyer that's going to fight the case. Now, of course, I can't pay nobody off the bat, but all we asking for is a payment plan. You know what I'm saying? I can't put down like 20,000, can't 10,000, can't do none of that. You're gonna have to work. If you think I need a lawyer who can actually do this, you definitely gonna get your money, but you're gonna get it over time. I don't have that right now. Because if I did, my husband wouldn't even be in there right now, or we'd be fighting the case and stuff like that. But at the same time, what's gonna happen is not only him in there under like bogus cases like the one he had. It's other people in there like that too. So it's like the whole thing is I feel like their family members, because I told my husband, like, give them, the YouTubes, let them come in, let's talk about it. Because if I'm trying to create a movement, come on, it's going to help all of us. And I just think people are scared to fight for their own self. Like, that's not really my scare. I just don't even, I just learning how to start this and go and whatever. By the time this is all over, I'm probably going to be like a professional at helping people fight for their rights, but
Guess who else you could call? Well, try to get in contact with Miss Activist herself, Yandy. She want to be an activist for everybody.
yeah, and she should, yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here, right, and I'm looking at that. That could work too, because I'm looking at his shows and stuff like that. He literally did a lot of artists and stuff like that, like shows with a lot of different artists. Like they're not really big and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I know why they're not really big because they wasn't down with the shenanigans. Like, and I get that. But somebody like Yandy, I don't know, because then that's gonna bring back into Mona Scott, and I don't need him to owe her anything.
All right.
But I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. But I
Well, I
can't.
mean, as far as well, she is they still dealing that show still deal with Mona Scott? That's still under her umbrella?
Yeah, that's her show. Yeah.
No, I was just saying as far as the activist part of her, not the TV Andy. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
activist part. You know what
If
I'm
I
saying?
can get that part of Yandy, yes, she will be the perfect person. I would just need to get that part of Yandy. I probably, because I be following Mendici too and having communications. Like I can help Mendici help me get to Yandy for
Right.
something other than, you know.
Because I'm looking at like all the people you say he interviewed and stuff like that, and excluding like keep the Mona Scott over there in the corner in the garbage over there, you know, and then deal with. I mean, because that's what they dealing with all right now.
Right.
Like this don't have nothing to do with them on that part of the spectrum. This is on a whole nother movement as far as keeping music going and all. This is what y'all say y'all doing it for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all love y'all hip hop, but he's an intricate part to that. So I don't see how she wouldn't or they wouldn't want to be behind him. But that's why I said also like with the Dr. Umar and stuff, like most of the names that you name that he did these interviews with, like if you can get that one person to be an advocate, and I think if she was in the right headspace and not Hollywood Yandy and be activist Yandy, then it'll work.
So this is like, so without going through it. So this is an interview he did with um Stephen Hartz, right? Stephen Hartz, he's from Troop. I mean, you know, you have to be like, these are going to be
I'm a
older.
true fan. I'm a true fan.
So like this is when he was getting his solo thing going in. Miss Toy was on Sirius Radio. She was like a DJ host. Carisha Turner, she's a singer, and Rampage. We know who Rampage is. He was down with Buster and Chastain Stone. She's a local, like she's from Georgia. She was a local hip hop artist. Day Lyric, we know who Day Lyric is. Uh, Megan Reese, he did do a lot of porn stars too. He did with interviews with the Flatliners. We actually used to hang out with them, like um MC Sham. MC Sham is like hilarious. I could play you a piece of this MC Sham. Let me see.
Warning, warning, warning. Yeah, what up? This your boy Uncle Murder, and right now
He always told you because he always had a warning, and he shot. I get it now. I really get it.
tuned in to 98.4 FM. What's good, people? This your boy DJ Trap Jesus, WPIR 98.4 FM, the number one urban station in Pennsylvania, hands down. We got the one and only legendary Queens native MC Shan in the building. What's good, son?
Shut it like a villain. What you say your name was?
What? My name is DJ Trap Jesus. Easy.
All right, DJ. Look, DJ Trap Jesus. Cause I know you for a long time, and I just heard that. That's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah, my dude, yo, I'm telling you, I got a lot of aliases. For every little venture I do, I got a different name for that too.
Yeah, that's MC Sham show, and They like them two was like funny together. Like they used to have me. It's hilarious. This is Hazel E. This is the show that I felt like got him blackballed from.
Hey, this shit. Your girl Chastain Stone doing it big with Trap Jesus 98.4. He played them hits.
Yo, what's
But he got a lot of different artists actually like the Gecko Brothers. Oh wait, I didn't mean to click that. You know, clicking everything. I didn't mean to click that. Brandon B. House, a comedian. I'm pretty sure everybody know who that is. Honestly, I don't even know who Hot Diamond is. If you guys know, I just don't know. Yanni
You said
Fair.
Hot Diamond.
Yeah, her name Hot Diamond.
Shit, she probably one of the porn stars that you said. You said that's probably why we don't know her.
And then we had the 66 Raw Miss Kitty from XM. Oh, I didn't even see this. Okay, so this right here, that might have to be another show. So it's WPIR 98.4 versus Michael and Mitros. Mitros was he is a, what you call it, a magistrate? And we went in his courtroom and I don't know, we did our Brooklyn thing. It was crazy. But I didn't even see that part. But that would have to be another show because I definitely got to look at that. I did not see that till just now. And I've been looking at these all day.
That's why I said take your time.
I have to see what that is because that might be the reason. Those shows could be the reason why he feels like I can do this because I did the Michael Mitros one, so I know I'm on those shows, and you got a lot of heat for that. Apollo.
Where can we find the channel and stuff?
I can put the link. I can make a thing, and I can put the link in for the channel.
Okay.
Matter of fact,
Or you just uncover the ones that you want us to see or whatever, and then put them all in a group or something.
Or no, like I am it's nothing for me to hide. Like this is what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is what he does. So and I told you already, explicit. You know, so you're gonna know what to expect from there because it's no curve in his tongue. There's Demetrios. And in there you're gonna find like he has so many songs and stuff. And of course he has like his favorite artists. When this is Cardi B, it's one of his favorite. So just know anybody who ever went at Cardi B, he came for him. So she was one of the favorite. Like we both liked her coming on the scene. Even when Nicki and Cardi went at it, you would have thought that because Nicki was from Queens and Cardi's from the Bronx, that he would have kind of went with Nicki because she was from Queens, which is closer. But no, don't nobody respect Queens. But he was also down with Nerve DJs. I forgot about them because they're another people. I just sent them an email the other day because he asked me something about Nerve DJs. So yeah, because I know they have to be figuring out where he went because he was all part of. He used to go on tours and stuff with them and everything.
See, now you just write down them shows so we'll know where to go, so you can get in contact with these people.
And Spreaker, you see the ones that say Spreaker. So Spreaker is for people who wanted to be DJs, but they didn't necessarily have all that DJ equipment. right? So used to he would put them onto Spreaker and then allow them to do shows on his station. Like, and he didn't charge people for that. Like, he literally, because he's a gifted DJ. Like, I don't even know how he put some of the stuff together. Like, that was his thing, was being a DJ. And he just wanted, like, if you wanted help with it, he definitely put you like out there. Okay, like, I'll show you and stuff like that. So he didn't even charge people for that and stuff like that. And it was like, they would be like, when they come back and they got better and stuff like that, like, they would, like, drop him like some money and stuff like that. But the thing about it, and that's what I liked about
Okay, so look, V1, what you just said with that. He helped these people learn how to be DJs and stuff like that. Where they at now? These the people you need to look for.
I tried looking up a couple of them, and they ain't did nothing.
So they ain't never make it in with the DJing or nothing. They ain't never move forward with it or nothing. None of their stories.
Some of them went as far as what he helped them with is what I saw.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, unless they change their name
That could
or
be
whatever, once they get under the belt and get their belt, they like, okay, I'm DJ such and such now.
And that could be very well true. And all these, like, you see his different 98.4. This, he had the app. The app got a new logo. Everything got a new logo with him. And of course, he liked taking pictures. So his pictures. The other thing, what is different from what we did is, my husband was big on, okay, when it came like 4th of July, right? Memorial Day to Labor Day, right? It was fireworks city. That's what it was always about fireworks, because everything, then we had to test them out from, mostly started in the middle of May behind my birthday, and then we would start buying them, and then we was like, okay, let's see what this is. But then we would wind up having so many fireworks. But that's the one thing he did love to shoot fireworks. I was this one right here, message to my black folks. I was like, oh, maybe I'll be able to play that one, but nope. You gotta see that one.
Why you can't play that one?
Oh, his mouth is crazy.
And you can't edit it.
I probably can. That's, remember I told you though. I'm gonna contact you.
I'll help you with it.
But yeah, it's that one.
So Trap Jesus, how did he come up with the name Trap Jesus?
So Trap Jesus is because when he
was Trap Jesus just on a Sunday, or Trap Jesus was on the late nights of?
So if you ever the way everybody liked him to do, how he got most of his things, most of the gigs, like, because he like I say, he's a DJ. Once they hired him, they wanted him, because so that's the trap. Because once you hear him, you're already tracked in, like people with Jesus. So it's Trap Jesus, because
Okay.
of how he play and how we get together. Like he's an awesome DJ. I will never take that from him. He's an awesome DJ. How he listens, how he literally has a gift for DJing.
And he did all this. What y'all had your own websites and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't just on
That like
YouTube.
his last website, honestly, just went down about 6 months ago because
Ain't no way to recover it.
I'm pretty sure we could recover it. But I just have to go in and like I can't remember his password on his computer. That's like really one of my big problems right now. He's trying to remember, but he just now was able to tell me his password for his debit cards and stuff, like from his YouTube debit cards and stuff. He
Mm-hmm.
was just able to remind me to tell me the password from that. It took him about 3 months to figure that out.
Because you know how we program it and just do our thumbprints and stuff. I should, baby. I just literally wrote down all my passwords the other day. I'm like, I ain't gonna like something happened, like somebody gonna be able to find all the evidence. Shit, fuck this. It's gonna be wrote down. So I'm letting y'all know now. You can find all my passwords. They wrote down. Cause baby, I hate doing all of these changes of passwords. It took me a whole day. So I understand it probably would have took them 3-4 months, a year to remember that when you ain't usually using them, you just automatically logging in.
And that's what I was telling him today, because it's like, I'm just, hold on, let me see if I'm on. So I'm looking at these videos and I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, I don't know who a lot of these people is. And he's like, what they had ordered, whatever. Cause I'll be looking by what I was looking at the walls in the background to see exactly where we was at that time. They're like, okay, this person must have been here, this person must have been there. I had a whole person, and I was like, who is that? His name is, he did an interview of him. His name is Bonatelli. Now, people from New Jersey, I mean, maybe have you heard of him, Bonatelli? Because he came all the way from New Jersey, and that's when we was living in Pennsylvania, and he drove out here to do his interview on my husband's birthday. So that was a good thing, but he is like, because sometimes people be local, and only if you local is the only way you know them. But he gave everybody a shot. Like, you in the industry, come on, let's help your name get out there. That's the way he is.
When your husband's birthday?
It was July 28th.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to be trying to launch the radio station by his birthday next year. So that way they'll be like, oh, he back on the scene, because they know him from his birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look at the most things that everybody remembered him back. Like, okay, launches his website or something on his birthday or something. Because I already know it ain't gonna be nothing that you just go pick up that quick on getting all these people. But we gotta find a way to reach them.
Right.
And if his birthday, like them dropping off presents to his house and all this other stuff, like try to get that website going to where that birthday is back on the scene.
Yeah, Heavy said it takes a village. That is for sure. And sound like his show was a vibe. It was, because even like that, I couldn't even be mad at him at times, because then he would do a show and then I had to be nice to him because the show was nice. You know what I'm saying? So it is like nice. He's definitely talented. Like, and I told him like how it is right now on YouTube and everything. And I told him, I said, everything that you work so hard for, that will be so easy for you right now. I said, if you can watch how some people just out here messing it up, I said, you will be so hurt. I said, your next thing you'll be on them, you know, but he is definitely talented in that aspect. And I get sometimes people is like, oh my God, him, because he will tell you exactly if it's on his mind, it's well, and that's what we have in common. If I think it, I say it. But I say it different than him. He says it how he thinks it. I say it how I say it, you know. So it's kind of a little bit different.
It's a vibe all the time. Yes.
Because I had the what's that? Structure the one firework one, because when I saw that one, my daughter was in it. And I was like, wow. And I wanted y'all to see young Kirby. Because young Kirby wanted to be what she used to do that I did not know was she had a channel. It's still on YouTube somewhere because I lost it and was not able to find it. But she had a channel where she used to cook stuff. And that used to be like really funny. And then we used to do videos all the time because everything we did was a video. I didn't even have any privacy. Everything we did, it was a video. Everywhere we went, it was a video. But I understood later, and I just ain't curse him out and stuff like that. I think it's this. Let's see.
See what you're talking about. You see the thing, right? Now you got it?
Yeah.
All right, this is the Spin Doctor. It's from, don't know.
Keystone.
Oh, Keystone Fireworks. The Spin Doctor, we're going to light it up and see what's going on here.
Mommy,
Lighten it up.
Mama.
See, that's my mom.
Say hey, YouTube. Say hi, YouTube.
Come on.
You want the phone.
Let's see.
You don't want to say hey.
Got a zoom on it?
Mommy.
Chikara.
Like, get a little close, but not too close.
All right.
Was it even spinning?
Wait a minute, Mama. Yeah.
Oh, that is dope.
Gotta be tight on a lot.
Yeah.
Gotta be serious.
That was nice.
I'm like, is it even spinning? I thought it was gonna spin while it was going around. I mean, when you first lit it. So how old was your baby on now? Oh no, V1, you left again.
Oh no, I forgot to
Oh,
take mute. Um, no, I said she had to be about 5 or 6 there.
okay.
So and that's the one that's 18 now, but that's like we were still and that's the kind of stuff that was fun because we would like my kids hate fireworks. And I understand why, but they hate it because of how much like it's not a big deal to them because we did it so much in their growing up years. So now they're like, yeah, fireworks, okay, yeah, we're not going. But it's nice, you know what that is? It was nice like those times and stuff like that. And then the one thing like they also, and this was probably the biggest thing when this happened is because he was our chef. Like I never had to cook. I only had to cook like the certain meals for cookouts and stuff. Like so we always know, like I always know how to cook. But once I'll show him how to make some of the stuff that like we actually eat, like them exotic meals and stuff that we eat. He started making them and then he perfected them and made them better than I did. You know what I'm saying? So it was like great, and so I never cooked. So when this situation happened, I'm gonna tell you for the first 6 months we ate out every meal every day because they had took our chef.
Man, that's definitely life changing.
Mhm.
I get it.
But I am going to bring this to a close. I do appreciate everybody coming in, listening to the stories that get it out, and I just ask you to share to get the channel to get bigger, and um and if I only get, I'm not even looking for nothing free from this. What I am looking for is a lawyer that can take his case and actually, like, you know what, this is crazy, let's go. And like we come up with our payment plan and do everything that we have to do. But at the same time, I want to start my movement so that this doesn't happen to other people because there's many people in there in this situation now. I would like to get all of them out on this and also keep these same people from doing this to other people. Because yeah, there is a one factor of a one person and he is Caucasian and his case is overturned. He only got to do a year, but he is still Caucasian. What about all the other people, all the African Americans and every other nationality that's still in there because they decided to say whatever they wanted to say and they can do whatever they want to do because they think nobody's watching. So the idea is like I just want people to watch because usually when you're doing something wrong, you straighten it up when people watching. So that's what I need them to do, straighten it up because people gonna be watching.
Mm-mm-mm. But don't forget the link is in the chat, y'all, to Trap Jesus page.
Hold up. If that's one link, hold on, let me get y'all another. I'm gonna put both of them in there. Then it have yeah, you fit.
So which one is the link that you put in there before?
The one that's still All
The
of that,
radio station. Well, that one got all of them on it, don't it?
that got all of the stuff from the radio.
Okay.
So if you hear the one part that I say, when I played the MC Sham part, for every single thing, his different ventures, he made another name, another page. So it was like it could be different. Like as you see, the one page I put up there the first time
Mm.
was it 98.4 WPIR, and then this one is Piff Inc. ENT. Like, and it's just more pages. I just got them all combined with each other
Okay.
but those are the main two pages that you will see a lot of stuff in. So don't say I ain't tell y'all. Warn your ears. Warn your ears.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
But I appreciate you all, and I thank you for your support.
You're welcome, sis. We got you.
And everybody, Heavy, are you streaming tonight?
Heavy.
It's some movies that I was looking the other night when I was up half the night that didn't come on again. Are you streaming tonight? But we know I'll be streaming in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon. Okay. I will be streaming in the morning and at 11 o'clock. And I appreciate you all and have a great night. I don't have no close music. I'm gonna get that together. I'm still working on everything. But I thank you guys for working with me through all the shenanigans that I should know to do already, but I don't. Like I
That's
said,
okay.
it was his thing.
That's okay. We family over here. Ain't nobody leave. We all still here.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good
Later.
night, everybody.